Hi everyone, so today I'm going to read a book about recycling, and the messy magpie will help you on how to recycle and why we should recycle. So let's get into the book. It has often been noted as years have gone by that magpies collect all the things that they spy. They love all the things colorful, shiny, and bold, no matter how tiny, no matter how old. Maurice the magpie is the same, it would seem, as he loves to pick up any objects that gleam. He takes them all home to his nest in a tree to make it look special for others to see. Now one day young Maurice was struck by surprise when a gift was thrown down right in front of his eyes. As it flew from a car, Maurice said, "Could it be that the human has given a present to me?" He swooped down to pick up the beautiful gift, which was hard to maneuver and heavy to lift. He carried it home, though it took him all day. Then he cleaned up his present to put on display. He wanted to decorate all that he could, so the next day he went to the edge of the wood. He flew to the place where the gift had been dropped, where he saw that a family of humans had stopped. He hopped down to search for his gift on the floor, but he noticed that this time they've left many more. Shimmering treasures amongst all the green, these gifts were the finest that Maurice had seen. Each day he returned and he couldn't believe all the wonderful gifts that were left to retrieve. His tree was soon bursting with no space for more, so he started to spread them all out on the floor. The more of these gifts that his human friends threw, the more his collection expanded and grew. Then one day, as Maurice was sat in his tree, admiring the beauty of all he could see, he noticed that things were now changing below, that the plants were all dying and struggling to grow. The grass was not green like it had been before. The flowers were whittling, not bright anymore. His animal friends watched in fear and distress as their homes and their food were soon lost to the mass. He turned to the stream, which no longer looked blue but instead had a horrible muddy like hue. The water was flowing more slowly that day as the big piles of rubbish were blocking its way. "Oh no!" Maurice cried as he gasped with alarm. "I never intend to cause all this harm. The forest is damaged, the humans weren't kind. All these gifts were just rubbish that got left behind." The pride Maurice felt for his lovely display was soon turning to sadness, regret, and dismay. He adored the collection he'd lovingly built, but his joy had now turned to a feeling of guilt. He vowed to himself he would put it all right, so he leapt off his branch and then quickly took flight. He soared high and low, looking out for a clue that would show him the safest and best thing to do. He noticed a truck driving past on the road, which was filled with a very familiar load. He followed the truck to see where it would go, feeling hopeful he'd find what he needed to know. Maurice arrived at a bustling place, which had giant containers and messes of space. Each bin had a sign marking what it was for, and the rubbish piled up with each car adding more. But where does it go? Whispered Morris, confused. To his shock, a voice said, "It gets crushed and reused." A seagull appeared and then said with a sigh, "It's amazing what humans can do when they try." "That's it," Morris said, and he knew what to do. "If I bring it all here, they can make something new. I might see some help, but I must make amends." So he called on a couple of good friends. They fetched and they carried for most of the night, and they worked as a team till they had put it all right. When the rubbish was gone, Maurice looked around at the stream and the flowers and the trees and the ground. He desperately hoped that he would made enough room for the beauty of nature to once again bloom. He planted, he watered, and natured away till the forest was thriving and growing each day. Then Maurice knew nothing would make his heart sing like the colorful beauty that nature could bring. He no longer needed the shiniest nest, and he realized that having a green home was best. So it tells you how important recycling is. So you can do the activity that I sent you yesterday if you haven't done it. And you can look into the PowerPoint on how to recycle in the next video. Bye. I love you all.